All right, look, man, we back up with some more reaction videos. See, I've been requesting us to check out some of these, like, more some scary stuff now.
Yeah.
And
I
think,
enjoy the, like, creepy things.
Yeah. So this is 27 horror short stories animated, man.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So we definitely going to watch a few of these because it's like an hour and 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to have to do these, like, in chunks of time.
In parts, man.
Yeah.
In parts, man. So we definitely looking forward to checking this out before we dive into it. Subscribe to the vlog channel. The link's in the description down below.
And while you're down there, check out our Patreon where we do movie reactions.
Let's dive right into it.
All right.
Amazon.
My name is Nikki and I'm 19 years old. This past December, I got myself a Christmas temp job working at Amazon, helping with deliveries. It gets pretty busy around that time for deliveries, obviously.
Oh, heck
Christmas,
yeah.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Right away, I hated the guy I was helping with deliveries.
Oh, jeez.
His name was Frank. To describe him, he was a bit overweight, didn't shave well, and his hair was short. I didn't like him because he was very rude and seemed like he was in a bad mood all the time.
Dang.
And I would be in the van with him most of the time, making deliveries.
That's
It was
horrible.
very
Work
awkward.
with somebody you don't
Yeah,
want to
I
work
tried
with.
to make
sucks to get
conversation
stuck
with him,
with
but like I said, he was very rude. And there was no point in trying after about 2 times.
Dang.
I thought about quitting, to be honest, or at least be with a different delivery driver, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to cause any trouble. I was a temp after all and needed this job. I thought
Right.
Frank was
Just
really
put up with
rude
it.
and socially awkward and not a nice person to be around, but I never thought he would harm me in any way.
There's gonna be something about this
One
Frank
evening
character.
after finishing deliveries, we were driving back to the Amazon warehouse, or at least that's where I thought we were going. Frank passed the turn where we always go to the
Oh,
warehouse.
snap.
As I said before, we didn't really speak, so I wasn't about to question him. He would probably snap at me anyway. After he continued driving, the more obvious it was to me he was taking me to another place,
Oh, boy.
and it wasn't the warehouse. I finally asked Frank where we were going. He didn't snap at me, surprisingly.
He's smiling
He
and
just
talking
said
to
we
him.
needed
Me and
to
talking
run
to him.
and do a quick errand. I was looking around my surroundings, and I could see that we were around empty fields and abandoned farmhouses.
Oh,
At this
man.
point, it was getting dark outside. Frank then pulled up next to a
No
small,
lights.
overgrown and unkempt
With the car lights.
cornfield. He said to me in a very
You don't
firm
need to do
voice to
delivery
stay
in the middle
exactly
of
where I
nowhere.
was. Don't move. Frank then
Don't
got out
move.
of the car and started walking up into the dirt
Take the
road,
car
disappearing
and
into
get out
the
of there.
dark of night. 10 minutes went by. I sat in the van by myself in the dark and had no idea where I was. My phone was in the warehouse in the locker as we weren't allowed to have our
Take the
phones
car
working.
and get out of there.
That's
So I
not
couldn't
okay. You
even
shouldn't have
play
your
on my
phones
phone
on
Yeah.
you
or
for
use it as a
safety.
light source. I needed to pee and couldn't hold it any longer. So I got out of the van and headed
getting out
into
of
the
the van.
cornfield to do my business. After doing so, I started to walk back towards the van. In the near distance of the cornfield, I could see flashlights. 2, in fact. I found that really odd as the whole area seemed to be abandoned. As I got closer to the van, I could hear a sort of heated argument going on between Frank
Aw,
and
snaps.
another man whose voice I couldn't recognize. I couldn't see him either. I heard the other man say, "Where is she? You said she was in the van." Frank then told the man that she was just in there and she has to be around here somewhere. The other man said to Frank, "If we don't find her, you're a dead man." That's what those flashlights were. Those men were already out in the cornfield searching for me. I snuck off into the field, walking quickly, but as quietly as I could.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole time crying and thinking I was about to die. After walking far enough, eventually leaving the cornfield, I ran down the side of a long dirt road. I have no idea for how long, but eventually I came across an old diner which was still open, thank God. And the manager called the police for me. After this incident, I quit my job.
Yeah, you
Yeah, heck yeah.
About 2 weeks after quitting my job, I got a call from my boss who employed me. He told me that I was the last one to see Frank, as no one has seen him since.
Oh.
Apparently, there were rumors that he owed people money from gambling debts.
Oh, yeah.
People you don't want to be in debt with.
So he was gonna
As
sell
much as I
her.
don't like
Yeah,
to think
pretty
about
much.
it, I'm pretty sure Frank's way of paying off his debts with those people was to hand me over to those men.
Yup.
And what those men had planned to do with me, I never wanted to imagine.
Oh. They got that boy Frank tied up.
I'm
He
sure
over
they
with.
do. Dang.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So Frank was
And-
gonna hand her over to
Yeah.
them for his debt, to pay off
And
his
are
debt.
these like based on real stories too?
I don't know.
Like someone's real experience?
I mean, if it is, that'd be crazy, man. I mean, what you would have done, man, if you was in this situation? You would have took the car and just like got out of the
That's
Dodge?
true. Well, I mean, if you didn't leave the keys, then you can't.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't
Right.
know. I would have maybe, because I almost sometimes feel like you're safer out in a cornfield. Like it's not easy to see you in a cornfield.
Yeah, but man,
Run.
What would y'all do, man?
I'd get out of there.
My cousin used to work at a police station, and this incident is about one of his colleagues' experiences. One day, he
Dang.
received a call from a gas station worker that he had been robbed, and the robbery escaped shortly before he called the police. He asked the worker if he could describe the suspect, and to his surprise, he said that the person was in fact a woman with a white dress, and she has very long dark hair, and also she was beautiful, he said. At first, she came to ask for help because she got lost in the middle of the night. So I went to the office looking for my boss and told him what had happened. We then went back to the cashier together,
She
but
was
when
gone?
we came in,
Yeah.
she was no longer there, and all the banknotes were also not in the cash box. Since he was the only one on duty that night, he headed to the spot of the incident right away. As he drove toward the gas station, he soon entered a darkened section of the highway that was surrounded by forest. He was driving in the middle of a gloomy highway until he noticed that a woman in a white dress with a very beautiful looking was walking along the road in the opposite direction. He passed her accidentally, so he began to slow down the car and turned to check again if she's the person that the worker
Yeah,
had
I mean,
described
sure
to him
sounds
before.
like
Yeah.
it.
Then he turned the car in her direction, stopped next to her, and got out of the car immediately. Ma'am, I need you to get on the car right now. As they were driving to the police station, he asked her some basic questions.
Something's up with this
Something's very
girl.
Why she
strange.
had to steal the money or something else. However, the woman didn't say any word to all the questions while she was sitting in the back seat. She just looked at one point all the time until they arrived at the police station. Her behavior was pretty
She's
weird.
gonna be like a ghost or something.
Yeah.
He thought that the woman might have some kind of mental problem. He then decided that he would not have any further conversations with her. When they arrived at the police station, they started to investigate her, and all of a sudden, she said that she would return the money the next day if they let her spend a night in a prison cell.
What?
She wants to stay the
Because
night
she
in
kept
this?
Yeah.
insisting that she had nowhere to go. He and other
Maybe
cops were
because
confused
she felt
by her
safer
comment.
in there. Maybe
Yeah,
she
probably
did it
so.
on purpose.
But they could nothing to do, actually. So they eventually approved of her proposal, letting her spend one night. The other police then called the gas station and informed the workers that they had captured the person, and they would return the money for tomorrow. The next day, he went to visit the woman they had detained
Is she
yesterday.
gone?
However, he was stunned as soon as he had arrived at the prison cell. In the cell, they found that her roommate's face was all scratched, and his body was hung from a wall nail. And the bills, which they didn't see yesterday, were all tucked in his pockets roughly. The wall next to him was painted in blood, saying, "I'm returning my debt."
Dang.
What made him even more frightened was that the woman completely vanished.
Yeah.
He went to the
Ooh.
director, informed this, and they had a search around the area widely, but she was nowhere.
No, she's something
Even
special.
today, everyone in the
Something.
police is traumatized by this incident.
I'm sure.
And that's what my cousin told me. How could anyone escape from a prison cell avoiding the cameras recording or anything?
It's a good question.
Eventually,
Yeah.
they never found out what had happened that day and where she is now.
Dang.
It's crazy because they never put women in the same like.
Not usually.
cell
I guess
man.
maybe if it's like just a short period of time. But yeah, you're right. I feel like it's usually women and men are different.
This is my story. I used to have a habit of grinding my teeth while sleeping. So I had a lot of arguments with my roommate about this. Of course, I felt sorry for him. So I was thinking about what to do. I finally found out that a mouthpiece would be a perfect solution. I told him in a loud voice, "You're not going to hear anything from today on." I put the mouthpiece in my mouth and
I got a
then I
mouthpiece.
laid down. However, he suddenly shook me not too long after. I slowly opened my eyes. The lights were turned on, and my roommate was looking down at me with a blank stare.
Uh-oh.
"What's the matter?" I asked. "Something's weird," said my friend. And what he said was that he suddenly heard loud teeth grinding sounds again while he was sleeping.
Oh.
But this time, it was
wasn't
bigger
from
than
him.
usual, and it sounded more vivid in his ears.
Ew.
And he finally felt that he had reached the end of his patience. "I'm gonna have to kill that bastard." Literally, this is how he felt at that moment. Only thinking about that, he tried to find a knife and put it in my mouth,
Oh.
but it was too dark in the room. so he turned on the light to find it, and then the sound abruptly stopped. You know, when a person grinds his teeth or snores, it doesn't matter whether someone turns on the light or not.
No.
But when he turned the light on, the noise stopped, and when he came close to me, he found that I was sleeping quietly with the mouthpiece in.
What the heck?
Then what did he hear? And the next thing my roommate says was, it just gives me goosebumps. Hey, if I hadn't turned the lights on and found the knife,
Oh, might have killed you.
I think I would have killed you.
Yeah.
You know?
Like he was being like
Pretty
possessed
weird.
Yeah.
almost.
But I couldn't think of anything else.
Whoa.
Dang.
Yeah. That guy might be possessed, man.
Yeah.
He
That's
might
insane.
be possessed.
Ooh, these are interesting though.
He's definitely interesting,
I
man.
feel like they could easily be on true stories. I mean,
It could
they
be.
could also just be made up short stories for sure too. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, this is some creepy stuff,
yeah,
man.
I liked it. Something a little different,
Yeah.
a little creepy.
Let us know, man, what other type of creepy stuff you want us to check out, man. Because y'all definitely been requesting this.
Yeah,
But we're going to end this video. Don't forget to subscribe.
and thumbs it up.
Turn on notifications. It's your memory B.
And Nicole.
I'm going to catch you on the next video. Peace and love.